Ready though. Yes,
Yes.
yes. We'll do, man. Reminisce show live every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, man. Always got to carry the tradition, man, because sometimes we got to go back and collect and bring back what is useful, man. I go by Logic, and I'm here with my brother.
Mindbender Supreme in the cut. What up?
So
Yes,
we doing
sir.
it, man. Yeah,
Oh,
man. We're in the first couple days of February, man, and there's been like a lot happening. Whether it's the Grammys. There's we got Drizzy out in Australia. Been seeing some photos surfacing.
yep.
Concert vibes, you know what I mean? So it looks like things are going well over there. There was like some little controversy, with a We Love Hip Hop podcast. There's this clip that Born King, shout out Born King, man, where he was talking about Lord Jamar, but then he went on this kind of like rant about like the 5%. And, Born King and a few other folks had to come in the chat. And,
Wait a
anyways,
minute.
we'll
So
get.
who was? I want to hear about. Yeah. Oh, I never saw that. This is. I.
Okay,
It's all.
well, we gotta do our check-in first. Hold on, we gotta do our check-in first, man. But we'll
Yeah.
get into
Let's
all
do
that.
that. Let's do that. Because
But there's
wow, that's.
definitely a lot that's happening in the scene right now that we can build on. So, yo, how's things, man? How you feeling?
I can honestly say I might be feeling the best I felt in all of 2025. My energy is up. I'm
Oh,
happy. I am. Yo, I'm hella activated right now because when I saw that Donald Trump on the weekend, he's like, "Yo, we ain't gonna do Black History Month." I was like, "Fuck this, fuck this." I'm up. I'm on. We ain't gonna. Yo, we ain't going to take this sitting down. So I was like, all of for February, I'm gonna
mm,
be spreading Black
we have
education.
to.
Period. I'm on. I'm like, yo, it's 2025. I know, like, in the 90s, it was such an important thing. And certainly I was like, I don't know how much this generation cares about Black History Month is. And I'm like, yo, I'm carrying the flag and we ain't gonna not let this flag touch the ground at all. So I'm like charged. I've been posting my magazines. I started off with like a Tupac post. I was like, "Yo, Tupac in the source." I was like, Black leadership. Let's remind people what it looks like. Tupac in the source from a interview from like '94. So it wasn't
Yeah,
like Death Row Tupac. It was the other Tupac, and
got you. Yeah,
I was like, let's remind people what real Black leadership looks like in hip hop. Eternal examples of beautiful
mm,
Black, and I'm
mm,
like, I'm fucking turning up. I don't care who's angry anymore. Like, I've been on the sidelines long enough, and I'm like, I'm ready to just contribute and just be part of the solution.
yeah.
I'm happy. I'm good.
Wow,
I'm feeling great.
jeez,
Good.
let's go, man.
On
I mean,
fire.
hey, it's so well. I mean, my check-in definitely relates
How
to
are you?
a lot of like what, yeah, it relates to a lot of like what you're feeling as well. Um, how I'm feeling, I'm feeling more motivated than I previously was because like when do we have our, yeah, so last week what was my grandmother's funeral. So that was like last Friday. So dealing
Jeez.
with that, and as you know, like the cycles of grief are like all over the place. So I just been allowing myself to just feel the emotions and go through the process. But I've definitely had a lot of time for like reflection and, of course, like looking at life. And like legacy and contribution, looking at memory, looking at history, and the history that doesn't get told. And
Yeah.
so I feel in a way I'm going through, like, I feel like I'm always going through Sankofa. I swear. I feel like I'm in so many different ways, you know what I mean? Where I'm just like really like reflecting, like, the cycles of life, and um, so how could I put this in work? I'm still just going through like a lot in my head, but the main thing in terms of like what we do with Stolen from Africa, to bring it down to just like the layman's terms, like what Stolen from Africa is about is restoring cultural and historical integrity to Africa and the African diaspora, right? So that's really the bottom line, because there's been a lot of um, there's a lot of lack of integrity when it comes to like historical context and the whitewashing of history or the erasing of history,
Oh
um,
yeah.
appropriation of culture, and us not being in control of the resources of these means. So
Oh
um,
yeah.
for us, it's all about that, and to be constantly thinking of that is crucial. Because we fast forward a couple generations, it's lost, and you know, um, yeah, like anyways, there's just so much like reflection that just speaks to like what you're saying, and this is the energy that we have to continue, because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, I feel like our soul, like we need to know that we've contributed something, that we
Yeah,
weren't just here taking up space and just like whatever. We're supposed to inspire. Like we are inspired by those who came before us. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like Malcolm X, the Black Panthers, Tupac, so on and so forth. They've all left blueprints. Just like that interview that we did at Sankofa Square, at Sankofa Square, which we'll get into in a second, because our sister there was dropping hella gems. I might actually play some of that actually. But anyways, just a lot of that reinforcing, and I'm just happy to see that many people are thinking and talking the same thing. Like it's not just me and you. Like we're going
yeah.
out and about, and we're like, "Yo, there's more of us,"
We are not
right?
alone for sure. For sure, a lot of
It's
people know
great.
that.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yo,
man. So
oh yeah, I want to quickly. I don't know if I want to definitely. One other thing that really helped inspire me lately is I didn't know until the day that it happened, but last Thursday I went to go see Sister Nancy, and the Sister
I'm
Nancy
I'm going to see
Bam
that. Yeah.
documentary. That oh
Bum,
my
bum. Yep.
oh my
Shout
god.
out Oya
So
Media. Shout out Oya Media.
Oya
Allison
Media,
Dukes.
yo,
Gaddy.
Allison, Duke,
Yeah.
yo, she honestly all this is an obviously like instant classic, all like in Black history documentaries for all time, instantly, because it's just yard like old school Jamaican legendary original woman
Have
just
to,
like
yo.
telling her story, but then like they connected from Jamaica to North America, obviously. And then like, yo, I was just shedding tears when they're like, yo, we got Large Professor up in this, we got Mishi Me up in this, we got
Right. All the
Pete
intersections.
Rock
Yep.
up in this, all these other hip hop people, and they're like, "Yo, Sister Nancy, like your song's been sampled by like 168 different hip hop people. It's the most sampled song in hip hop history." And like
Wow.
they had this beautiful segment, and just brought me to tears when they're like Large Professor, just hanging out, 1991, first time anybody ever sampled Bomb Bomb, in the
Wow.
Bomb Bomb.
Yes.
Dun, dun,
Right.
dee, and just
Right.
hanging out, and like it just shows how Large Professor, and it even had like K Cut and Sir Scratch in it, pure Canadian rep, and
Look at
like
that, man. It's
it
legacy
was
right there.
it was just beautiful. I'm just sitting there, I'm like, this is Jamaica, Canada, hip hop, reggae. Oh, I'm crying, man. Mishi Me makes it feel like it was 100% perfect. And I'm saying all this to say she performed at the end, like she made an appearance, and like they showed her doc, and then she just stepped out in her bad gal self,
Oh,
and
she was
just
there too?
she was there. Yo, when I was
Oh,
like,
man.
yo,
Oh, you
I
know
got
what?
yeah.
Actually, I did try to get tickets and it was already like sold out. Like I missed that one. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I showed up a little late, and I was just like, I just did
Oh,
some
you finesse. Oh, this guy
I
on
just
some hip
finessed
hop
the
shit,
magic. I just
man.
finessed the magic. They were like, "Yo, it's sold out." And then, but I gotta give a shout out actually, because I was walking around and I just saw this black woman who just looked cool, and I was like, she's like, "How you doing?" I'm like, "I'm trying to get in." She's like, "I got you, fam." And I was like, "Oh, yo, this is culture." Like,
Yo, listen, there's only two people I come across that has that type of luck. It's you, because you always find a way, and a mall. Okay,
we're
like you two, like I don't know what it somehow, some way, like you're the two, like always at the last minute. Yo, I didn't get a ticket. I'm just gonna show up and see what happens, and then somehow, some way.
I'm just saying oh man, I wish I got you. I wish you were with me, because there was a spare seat beside me. They kept saying it was
Wow.
sold out, but I go in there and I walking around, I'm like, I see like 7 or 8 empty seats, and like, what's the
Yeah.
deal?
Yeah.
So, and I was like, this needs to be a 100% packed. So yeah, man.
100.
So she came out and performed, and this is like bad y'all, like everything
Wow.
she just says is a joke, and just pure Jamaican, just hilariousness and legendary. And she's just like, "When me get it from creation," and I just hear that, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Yo,
You already
fucking,
know.
I can't stop doing what I'm doing, yo." She's here. She's like, and this is what she said that also blew a hole in my head. She's like, "Yo, I've been making music 48 years." I'm like, "I'm 48 years old." This woman, she's like, "I'm 60." I'm like,
Your
"Yo,
entire life.
my entire life." And she just 61 years old, just step out on stage and just mashed it up again. So I was like,
Oh, that's peace, man.
it just
Beautiful, man. Yeah.
turned me so much. I was like, I'm seeing like real Black legend, and she like, oh yeah, Sister Nancy is a OG.
A super piece, man. So moving along, I want to play this clip from so last week my mentor and I, we got to check out the Sankofa Square
Yeah,
community reception. So we got, a special invite, man, from the city of Toronto, man. Shout out my peoples on the other side. And yeah, man, we got to interact with a few folks. So I put together this quick video, and we got some feedback from some folks of what the square means to them. And yeah, let me just share a little something. Hopefully the audio's on point and behaving itself, man. So let me see here. All right.
oh, that was yeah.
Live, I'm going after the true knowledge of self stolen from Africa.
Mindbender Supreme here with
Dwayne Morgan.
the one and only, and we're here at a wonderful gathering, but just wondering some questions, man. What do you think of the name change to Sankofa Square from what it used to be Dundas Square?
I think the name is the change is significant because it's applicable to everybody. Because in every culture, there's a concept of learning from the past, of going back, seeing what was done, and utilizing that information to move forward. So I think they selected a name that can apply to everybody. Now, not everybody's going to agree with it because of their own politics. However, when you look deeper into it, it's something that covers everybody and all different cultures, all different backgrounds, because all of us have something where we always look back in order to move forward.
Well, I'm fully in support of it. Mind you, I was on the committee and I didn't vote for it initially, but now that it's been proclaimed Sankofa, I'm wholeheartedly in support of it.
In the fall of 2024, we encouraged over 2,900, as everyone's been saying, almost close to 3,000 community members through a public survey and in-depth stakeholder interviews. The insights we gathered have created a robust roadmap for developing the Sankofa Square brand and deepening our understanding of how the community can help shape its future.
I'll just pause that, man, before we get into the other piece, man. But shout out Dwayne Morgan, like that was like a wonderful like response to like Sankofa Square and how it can relate to how it has like this universal appeal of understanding of remembering the past in order to move forward in the future, man.
He's right. You're right. That was
absolutely, man. So I don't know if you have anything else to add, but I just want to play the other half, man, because our sister friend there who was just dropping a lot of like gems and anyways, I'm going to play the clip and then I want to pick up after that, man, because it connects to like what we were talking about from before. All right, here we go.
I just got to ask, what do you do in life? What is your dream? What do you...
Oh my gosh.
I mean, that's not the...
Like,
like, how do you...
These guys like so fuzzy, just like, what do you do?
No, I had to know more. Like, I want to know her thoughts on Sankofa, but I'm like, I want to know, look at this goddess energy.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's not the question, but I have to know. We have two questions.
People often ask about it. I think what I do is to just be the biggest representation of what it means to be love, and love represented through the lens of blackness, right? Like, when you think about who we are and the wisdom codes our ancestors left behind for us, you realize how blessed you are. If anything, sometimes I get a bit of a little panic attack because I'm like, I won't have enough time to go through all the gems and all the nourishment, the cultural wealth that they left behind for us. So sometimes I feel
man, I gotta pause right there, man. Like, did you hear what she said? Like, I don't know if that hit you the same way how that hit me. But when she said that, I was like, yo.
She was one of the people that activated me this year as well, though. She said something that is living in me. And she says it after this. It's coming up, but yeah.
Okay, but this particular part here, right? Because I've been really reflecting on the fact that, more often times than not, like each generation we're always like reinventing the wheel, kind of thinking that we got to start from scratch to build something, and that, our, systemic experiences are unique or whatnot. But it's like, no, this has literally been the cycle that's been going on for centuries. You know what I'm saying? And those who came before us, I'm specifically thinking like, the teachings of like Malcolm X, the Black Panther Party, James Baldwin, and like Marcus Garvey. Exactly. Like these people who literally left bodies of work for us to, pick up, essentially, right?
For real.
Pick up. And when she said that, sometimes she gets this anxiety where she won't be able to like get through all of those. Like, when she said that, I was like, wow, like I've never heard it articulated like that. Like feelings that I feel, but like worded like that. I'm like, that's exactly it.
You're right. You're right.
And to me, this is like the real experience of living. When you start really feeling it, you're like, oh yeah, I'm part of something.
Part of stuff for real. You're absolutely right, man. No, she smashed that fact. Yeah.
All right, let's keep going.
Yep.
I feel like there's an urgency for me to dream big, and for me to just don't play small. Just don't play small. So for me, every time I step out, I mean, this is actually from my brand. It's called Belle Moon. It's a fusion of our ancestral language, French Creole. I'm from Saint Lucia, so nous parlons patois.
Okay.
So this says Sakafet. Can you say Sakafet?
Sakafet.
Hey, there you go. Yes. You ready to visit my island?
I need to. I want to touch. Oh my goodness.
Okay, you need to. So I'm in Saint Lucia, honoring our ancestral language. Growing up, the colonial narrative was if you speak French Creole, tu parles patois. If you speak Creole, it means you're poor because our ancestors spoke it. But we know better now.
We know better now, like for real.
We know better.
Yes, for real.
So I'm just reclaiming my cultural inheritance and just having fun with it.
I love that for you. I love that dream. I'm going to quickly say one thing, and then I'm going to ask the question.
Yes.
I would like to continue speaking to you because the amount of love and wisdom that we really truly have in us is infinite, and people need it.
Yes.
The world needs it. The revolutionaries and the ancestors left it for us to keep teaching, and there's almost none of them ever finished their mission. So it feels like
we are the ones to finish it.
Exactly. We got to keep going, and we've got a lot of work to do, but this is why we're here now.
Exactly.
That being said, so the question that I originally had to ask, I mean, your energy is too magnificent to ask you just one question. So thank you for sharing this. So the thought was, what are your feelings about the change to Sankofa Square from Dundas Square?
Oh my gosh. I don't want to say it was too late because I think everything is right on time.
Well said.
I think it's timely. I think it's so powerful to have a representation of those wisdom codes from our ancestors.
Yeah.
I think we're the only global majority we don't have our knowledge systems, our value systems like the Ma'at principles, like our ancestral knowledge systems, like the African medicine wheel, represented anywhere on a consistent basis.
Not at all.
So for me, having this public declaration of Sankofa Square, what I hope it does is that it sparks a curiosity, a cultural curiosity in people. What I hope it represents for people of African descent, that it reminds us that we belong.
Yeah.
And that is a physical representation of those small moments of belonging. So every time we hear people visiting Sankofa Square, we honor our ancestors in the saying, in the visiting, in the knowing, and we see that as a legacy that we all get to participate in, no matter where you are and your feelings around it. Show up, support, because don't forget the divide is also intentional and systematic.
All right, we'll stop there, man. Yeah, if y'all want to see more, you can go to the Stolen from Africa YouTube channel, like and subscribe and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, man. But more content. And I realize that, we could like react to our own videos.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? No, because we're not just in the digital, we're out in the physical as well. You know what I mean? We're out in real life. You know what I'm
We
saying? So
outside, yo. We outside, yo. We touch
yeah,
grass,
we
yo.
outside. We're everywhere. So
Yeah, we in these
yeah,
streets, yo, for real, yo. We ain't just up on the internets only. And some of these
that's it,
people
man. And there's gonna be more of that to come. You know, like more interviews with streeters and people perspective. And yeah, man, we're gonna get out there, man. So stay tuned,
oh,
man. Stay tuned.
this is the Mr. Front Row year for me, man. I'm putting that out there in a bigger way than ever before. So I'm gonna be in the
Yeah,
streets looking at the people and at the shows. And yeah, man, because it's definitely for sure without question, we're at a crossroads. 2025, like we're at a crossroads on so many levels. On so many levels.
yep,
So
yep, yep. There's a lot. And I really believe that it's we're in a space where we have to make a choice of are we about integrity or just whatever. So
yep.
what's right in your heart. You know what I mean? You have to like honor that, and I feel like that's really what it is. So and that
Yep.
takes a lot of courage, but it's necessary. And that's the
Absolutely.
frequency and the energy that I'm on, man. But going to the Grammys, like, what are some of your thoughts on that, man? We know that, Kendrick won several awards, including best rap song, was it?
Yeah, one best song, best rap song of the year for sure.
Like performance and a few other ones. And I know that leading up to that, Mustard received like the awards. I saw a few clips online. I thought Mustard received the awards on Kendrick's behalf, like which kind of gave the impression that he wasn't there, And then I guess for like the final award or whatever the main one, then he came through and gave his speech and whatnot. But what I thought was interesting is regardless of the beef and all that stuff, just what he said, 'cause I saw a bit of the speech and the clip, and he was talking about how like I guess like the day before like his aunt passed away, and then now he's here, and like I kind of related that to in a way of just dealing with loss, but then finding like the joys in life and still finding the blessings, so it's like the joys and pains, like different types of tears that come with that, if that makes sense. So, but I just thought it was interesting, and let's see what happens for the culture, man. Let's see what happens next.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And like it's complicated. I mean, there's a whole variety of feelings all over the place. And I'm happy for him. You know, I could see how there's just I got to bring this up just because of my sex work nature. Like, it
Right.
was really unfortunate that it looks like there's at least two sexual assault cases
I did see
on
that. Yeah.
on TDE on Top Dog Entertainment,
Some of the yeah. So,
and that came
and
down
it's
like
interesting.
yeah.
And it's interesting because I know that Kendrick has his own label now, and I don't. Has any of the other like recent releases been under TDE?
No, he's officially on PG
That,
Lang now. I think, yeah, his own
that
thing.
that's what I mean. Yeah.
But I had
I don't know.
heard
Yeah.
that he had some kind of like financial investment in TDE. So he was an investor, one of the original ones.
Okay.
And I mean, it's there's more issues and stuff to come out, but it's
Yeah.
some people were suggesting they're like, yo, how could like this happen at the label and him not know? And I'm like, I don't want to make that judgment yet, but I will
Yeah.
say that is a possibility. I
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
I want him to defend himself until
For
when
sure.
more details come out, because it might have been just some other label dudes or whatever, and he didn't know about it, or maybe he did know about it and he just played silent, and which is not
Yeah. Yeah.
so we'll to be determined. But it was unfortunate that case came out right before uh the song won, and then also him shouting out Dr. Dre. That's another. A lot of people are like, yo man, like there's not a cool there's a uncool hypocrisy with him winning a song where the entire arena is shouting A minor and like he wins a song
Yeah.
where he's calling
Yeah.
Drake a pedophile, but
Yeah.
he in his award speech he's shouting out Dr. Dre, who is notoriously an abusive man to women, and like so like there's just those things that just
For
tarnish
sure.
the
Yeah.
award a little, and I'm like, I don't want to take away from his work. He like
Yeah.
yeah, as far as the culture goes, he won the battle and all that, but like I still feel differently about little tiny things, and like I wish them both success. I wish Kendrick success at the Super Bowl and on his tour. And then I also wish Drake success in Australia, because I saw he's out performing there, and he
He's
did his
looking good,
first
man.
show, and it was apparently sold out.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, no, shout out Drake, man, out in Australia, man. Shout out Astro. My boy Astro is like he's pretty much like Drake's like main like road photographer right now. He's definitely worked his way through, and I follow stories. You know what I mean? On IG. So yeah, man, everything's looking proper. Everything's looking proper in Australia, man. Like I'm feeling the weather right now. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking outside and I'm looking at where these guys are. And it's like these guys are from Toronto, but they're not in Toronto. All right, all right, man. Whatever, man. Palm trees and chilling and go. Like, he posted this one clip, which I like though, man. Shout out Astro, man, for giving the updates, on the stories. If you look at photos by Astro, you can follow stories. But like it seemed like Drake showed up at some like local karaoke spot, and he's just like just pulls up. I love that type of shit, man. Like I love that. Like that to me, celebrity. We need more of those human experiences. Those just like one-offs that just like change people's like lives. Like you never guess like who came to the karaoke spot tonight, man.
That's
what I'm
it.
saying? And the stories that come after that, right? Like,
that's it. And it's only 150 people that were actually in the spot.
Yeah.
Like, yo, we didn't have tickets for the main stadium show, but like, yo, we got to see Drake do 4 songs, and he was 8 feet away from me. Like, yo,
or better yet, like the one friend who like decided not to come to karaoke that night. He was like, I'm just not gonna go. Guess what happened?
Bro, you should have shown this one time. You picked the worst time ever to not show up. You're gonna regret your life.
That's cool, but like Australia is a pretty big continent. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like he can do like a few. Like, do you know how much like dates are set up in Australia?
I think 7. I think
Okay, so it's quick.
I think they do 7 dates. Yeah, but I don't know, like my intel is a little off. I think the 6th and 7th show are not sold out yet. But I heard like last week, so they might have been sold out. The first 4 or 5 are complete sellouts. So he's almost. And yeah, man, he's doing his thing down there, and yeah, it should be cool. I also did want to quickly talk about another thing on the Grammy night, Beyonce.
Okay, let's talk about it, man. What's going on with Beyonce?
Which is interesting because it's like it was a really political night where for the first time in history, Taylor Swift went 0 for everything. Like they finally blanked the way that the Carters went 0 for 8 when Jay-Z got pissed off when they got 8 nominations and went home with nothing. And Jay's like, yo, how you gonna punk us like that? yo, like that's
8
pure
comedy. Yeah.
So they finally that's finally happened to Taylor Swift, and because Beyonce fucking Knowles are the biggest female pretty much. She was 0 for 4 for album of the year, and she's never won album of the year ever.
Right.
And it's like, what is
that's crazy when you think about it? Yeah.
Like, and it's like Jay was right. There's like no logic to be like, so Beyonce, the number 1 winningest Grammy human being in history, all of history. Why does she not have the album of the year award? Like she's got like 80 Grammys or something like that. And
because it goes back to Drake's classic Grammy speech where he was basically dissing the Grammys in the most elegant way possible.
The most elegant
way. So it was so good. It was like it was an inspirational speech, but it was like a diss at the same time.
It was like walking the perfect fine line between it's like, this is okay and this is cool. It's
no,
cool.
when he said that,
but fuck this bullshit because it ain't all about this shit. This is some whack shit sometimes, but also it's okay sometimes.
No, he called it an opinion an opinion based sports or something like that. Like I remember how we framed it, man, but it's like opinion based. You know what I mean? So it's not based on like any kind of numbers or data. It's like, room of people are just being like, okay, we like it.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one. It's like, yeah, like where
Yeah,
no,
so
and it was so real. And I'm saying all this to say, so like Beyonce finally won. She finally won Album of the Year for Cowboy Carter, and it's weird because like it's not her greatest album.
yeah, yeah,
And,
yeah,
like
yeah,
it didn't sell the most for her. It critically and commercially, it is not her biggest album or her best reviewed album. Like creatively, it is what it is. It's not even really a country album. It's like country-ish R&B hip
yeah,
hop,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it's like so. It's kind of like when they gave Nas the album, the Grammy for King's Disease, where
Right.
it's like, yo, Nas is like,
Exactly.
yo, he's a legend, and it's 19 years now. Why does Nas not have a Grammy yet? Like, this is you
Yeah,
guys,
yeah.
like, this isn't.
Facts.
So they're like, yeah, here's your like, and to me, this is the other parallel I make to it is like when they gave fucking Denzel the Oscar for Training Day, and I'm like, yo, you didn't give it to him for Malcolm X or Glory or like
You know,
eight other things that he should have had it for, and like y'all, this is just like a late retroactive Grammy and award, and it's like, okay. So Beyonce finally won Album of the Year, and she was like, when she looked shocked when they announced her name. Like she was
she
like,
was not expecting to get that, like because even she knows, like, yeah, the album was just like whatever. It was just like my, like a hobby project or something, you know.
fully,
And
fully.
and then when she got it, like you're right, the look on her face was like, I don't believe this. Like she's equally shocked. So yeah, but hey,
Yeah,
well
yeah,
deserved, though, man. Well deserved.
yeah. Like Beyonce deserves it more than the album deserves it, but it's like, yeah, like I
Yeah,
don't. There's no shade at all. Like y'all should have done
yeah.
this. Should have got this for Lemonade or B Day, or like you should have got it years ago.
It would have been too powerful, man, because like these types of entities don't like to affirm that type of vibration like that. Or if they do, it's like one, and it's only in during certain periods of times. Like for
That's it.
example, like right now, there's a lot of political energy or whatever. So, usually what happens when this type of, timing comes, like music and songs reflect, the times, I mean, we might hear more like protest music or something, you know what I mean? Like there might be a lot of discussions on certain things, but they only allow one.
But yeah, sure, for
There'll be
sure,
the one song, you know what I'm saying? And we can even look through times and pick them out. But like
for
that's
sure.
that's it.
That's it. We're gonna let a bunch of y'all revolutionaries up in here,
No,
so
no,
make it
no.
look
We don't
like
want
we're
to do
down.
too much affirmations. We'll do a
Yeah,
little,
yeah.
you know?
We'll like strategically pick the safest,
Yeah,
dangerous
yeah.
one of
But speaking of like affirmations and whatnot, I want to circle back to our peoples over at the We Love Hip Hop Network, man. Shout
you.
out
Yeah,
Friday. You know what I'm saying? It's
talk about
all blessed. But so he made this post about Lord Jamar, and we know that Lord Jamar is an interesting guy. He says a lot of ridiculous things, and he's just a little. Anyways, like when it comes to elders, I just leave them in. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just at that point in my life right now where it's like, just yeah. Anyways, so Friday had some thoughts to say. I think it was in pertaining to like a clip where they're talking about the flat earth and yada yada yada, whatever. But in his like rant that was going off on Lord Jamar, which is targeted to Lord Jamar, he was saying some, disrespectful things towards the nation of gods and earths and whatnot, and almost like in this mocking way. And he went
Lord
on this kind
Jamar
of
was.
no. Friday was
Oh,
so
Friday
it
was.
was him reacting to a Lord Jamar video, just talking
Oh,
some like flat Earth, whatever, and just all of his other like weird, antics that are just, so Friday was like, kind of going off on that, which is fine,
okay,
cool.
got
But
it.
while he was doing that, he was dragging 5%ers like through the mud as well, and just
Oh,
generalizing and saying these things like, these guys claim that they're God, and but they're doing this and that, and yada yada yada, and like those are fair observations, but when it's done in this like generalized view as to be like this is what there is, and just completely disregarding certain things, and the fact that he knows people like Born King and whatnot, it was just from a journalistic standpoint, it was in my opinion very sloppy and just you know
yeah.
inconsiderate. So long story short, the gods man got typing in the captions in the in the comments, and long story short, he did actually like I think maybe I'll play a clip of that actually of his like apology. Hold on, real quick. This is like some Toronto hip hop news, and we rarely get stuff like this. So when it does, it's like okay, we gotta build on it, and so this is like his apology, and we play a bit of this here.
We love hip hop.
Okay, I got a few things I want to get off the top of this.
Oh my goodness! Friday, Ricky Dread.
Okay.
Peace God.
This is Torontology's most hated, but the most discussed about, I would say.
Hello.
So the most discussed and the most disgusted.
Oh man, do me a favor, Nat. Bring your chair a little. No, you're good. Just bring your chair just a little bit over, just so we can stay in the frame. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I did a post about Lord Jamar, and I'll still stand on Lord Jamar is the worst member of Brand Nubians, but that's besides the point. I want to say peace to the gods. All right. I had a rant, and we'll do the cut-in of the rant. Right? McNasty said 5%er. Peace to the gods. I used to be a 5%er myself, right? And with all due respect to a lot of the 5% Nation of Islam out there, a lot of y'all are just cap-ass niggas. A lot of 5% of niggas is just fake Muslims.
Wow.
Right? They're Muslims without taking without the discipline. Oh, we smoke and drink and shit.
One of the great challenges in this world is knowing enough about a subject to think you're right.
Okay, let me just fast forward to the apology part here.
And was generalizing everybody and
oh, come on. Okay, well, with that being said, so anyways, he was just like apologizing and was looking towards getting like Born King probably featured at some point to really give like the breakdown on like the nation and their principles and how they've really just contributed to a lot within our community, within hip hop and whatnot. And I think could be a pretty cool opportunity. But yeah, when I saw that, I was like, wow, that's a lot. But even when he said that he was a 5%er, I'm like, that's interesting because talking to BK, it was like, where is this coming from? And they mentioned, anyways. So I'm just glad that like these types of conversations can happen and to be corrected, and that Friday is open to being corrected, which I think is extremely important and that's notable, man. So big up to him for making the apology and keeping things moving.
Yeah, that's the important part, man. It's like we can, and it's cool to be. I mean, constructive criticism is the best way to be critical about anything. Like especially in the realm of politics. Like there's infinite political opinions and philosophies, but you don't have to shit on somebody's entire belief system if you don't exactly hold it. But like you can still you can question it. You can be like, oh, I don't agree with this, that, and the third. But like, you should be like, I respect other people's right to believe that. And like, if it works for them, peace to them. I say that about Christianity all day. I could rip Christianity 15 assholes. Yeah. And I'm like, if Christianity brings you peace of mind and it is the answers for your belief in living in the universe, I'm not going to say stop being Christian. I'll be like, peace to you. So, but like, I'm like, the first slave ship is still called Jesus, and Christianity was the fucking religion of slavery. So like, I'm standing on that, but like that doesn't take away from a good practicing Christian. So 100%. It's like, and like there's people in every single religion that are like a shitty practicing version of it, like 100%. Islam, 5%. Everything. So like, man,
and like what you're talking about is wisdom. Like wisdom is that differentiation, of like where the energy flows. You know what I mean? So and we can be respectful and to be honest, like that's where we need to move in society, because we're going to come across people that have opposing views and things and whatnot. But if we can come to a space of like of respect, to some type of degree, man, that's a great place to be. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, that's it. And like, it's peace. It's real peace that like especially in the black community, it's peace that Friday, he talked his shit, and then he was like, you know what, I was wrong, and I will apologize for it. Like
I rate that. Yeah.
That's just maturity and wisdom, and it's just like you don't have
And
to
that's all
agree.
it is, man.
Yeah, it's like
That's
you
all
still
it
don't have
is.
to agree, but you just be like, yo, sorry for like disrespecting y'all people, but like
Yeah.
still he can say this 5% isn't for me, but like
Yeah.
it's like peace to y'all who practice it. Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
fair. So yeah, but yeah, that's dope. That's dope, and I hope Born King gets to speak his piece and spread it. But like this is the perfect example because like, yo, I've taken lessons from the 5% Nation for sure, and like I for sure I have nothing critical. Like I can criticize anything if I want to look at it close enough. But
Yeah.
like what I'm saying is like I separate the 5% Nation from the Lord Jamars. Like
Well, yeah, for sure, for sure,
and I'm like,
for
yo,
sure.
Lord
Eh,
Jamar's a flat earther, man. Like, bruh.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, there is definitely a distinction. You know what I'm saying? Like, so,
Yeah.
but like you said it best. Like every group culture has their like bad apples and people and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, it's all about like having like discernment and wisdom, yo.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And there's this interesting, and it's that hasn't been articulated too much, but like I'm seeing it now. One thing that we have to deal with in the world, almost all of us, is the difference between MAGA and a Republican. And I'm like, yo, because like I don't mind like a normal Republican. I think that like that
Right.
I'm not a
The MAGA,
Republican, but I'm
like,
like
yeah, we going in.
that can be like a tangible political philosophy. But yo, if you're like a Republican that's not down with Trump, cool. But like MAGA is like, y'all, fuck you, motherfucker. Y'all tried to take away the like Equal Employment Act of 1968. We are at war. Like this is war. Like what the
Right.
fuck? You're rolling back the fucking whole civil rights fucking movement, like 50
Marshall.
years. So like fuck your life, and like that can be criticized. Like this is like yeah, there's things that yeah, we gotta speak out against, but like yeah.
Real talk, man. Peace, man. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. And
Yeah,
we're gonna keep doing that, man. Spreading the word, spreading the vibes, man. I was gonna say, man, there's something that just slipped my mind. Oh well. Till next time.
Yeah.
It'll pop up next time, man. But anyways, is there like anything else that's happening for like Black History Month, man, that you are tapping into? I know that for my friends who are into skating and all that good vibes, Harborfront Center is back. I don't know if y'all remember, like before COVID, there used to be this thing called Soca on Ice. They would have these DJ skate nights. It is back, and Soca on Ice is this Saturday. You know what I'm saying? And it's a vibe too, because like, people come down who don't even skate, but it's just a vibe, you know what I'm saying? So I call it like winter caravana, just like
Oh,
minus like flesh and like feathers and stuff. But it's a vibe, you know what I mean? Because people will have their thermoses with hot cocoa and Baileys and
yes, real.
some
Some
rum and
Appletons.
you know what I mean? Some Appletons and you know what I mean? So we'll definitely be bringing like the island vibe to the cold. So if that's your thing, definitely pull up. It's a vibe at Harborfront Center Saturday, and I believe it starts usually like 8 o'clock. I think 8 o'clock till like 11 is the wave. So yeah,
Cool. That's peace.
Other than that, what other
I
things are
can't
going on?
I can't think of anything yet. Yeah, I haven't been even like looking around too much. Oh, yo, just to put it on heads radar, like there's apparently an Ontario election at the end of the month. I think on the 27th. So
Yeah,
Doug
like
Ford, Doug Ford's trying to slip it in again before like when they say like winter elections are things that people like people barely know about and
yeah.
this motherfucker trying to pull like a slick election while nobody's watching so he can get another 4 years of this bullshit.
Yeah.
And like
Make sure his whole squad is at the polls, man. Like ready. It's like quick.
yeah,
Get
for
those
real.
numbers
Wait,
up.
while nobody's watching, it's winter. Let's pull like so yo,
Gosh.
Ontario election at the end of the month. To hopefully get this Doug Ford bitch ass out of the office and yeah.
We'll see, man. We're gonna see.
Yep. But yeah, what else is happening in a couple rap shows. Oh yeah, MC Lights March.
Oh, we gotta be there.
Yeah,
If we
yeah.
can, man, if we get an MC Light interview.
Oh,
You
but
know,
even for real, just to talk to her for 5 minutes would be so.
manifest. No, it was already manifested, man. You spoke about MC Light last time when I was saying, hey, look, man, what artists would you think would be, would be dope? And I saw that. I was like, okay, I'm gonna take this as a sign. We are going to connect with her, man, for history purposes, for Sankofa purposes, for Reminisce show purposes.
For real. Oh, yo, there's a bunch of reasons why. Yeah, for
We have to, man. We got to get down to it. It's time, man. It's time.
Yeah. Light as a rock. Yeah. Who else there is? Yeah. We're having some conversation. Yeah. Oh yeah, the last conversation was the Doechii won rap female
Oh
rap album
yes,
of the year. So they were
that's
saying
peace.
like, yeah, they're like, this is only the third time in history that a woman's won rap album of the year. So people were like debating it. I actually saw her performance on the Grammys. It was high energy. It was high energy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it was like Lauryn Hill, Cardi B, and her. So people were like, being like, yo, like there's been more women that should have won, and it's like, but like, yo, the Grammys, like Grammys, you don't expect these people to do right by our culture. What are you talking about?
No. That's one thing we can't do. And I always go back to like Drake's speech, man, because he really represented me. He put like a glitch in the matrix there by saying that, man. But it's reminding artists that like, yo, if you got people that are like coming out to your shows and supporting you and spending their hard-earned money, it's like, you don't need these trophies. Like you're already winning.
Yeah,
the fact that you have that.
Yeah, that is the real that is the real award. That is like for real to be played amongst the people. That is
That's it, man. So
it's like
man.
I'll still, I think people are talking. I was like, yo, man, I'll never forget 2014 when these people gave Macklemore an Album of the Year award over Drake, Kendrick, Jay-Z, and Kanye.
Oh wow, yeah, that's crazy.
All four of those people, like that's the craziest shit of all time. Like,
especially that year, because there was a lot happening that year. I was like, what? Like,
yeah, are you kidding? Yeah, so like, hip hop, we don't need these people. These people need us. And like, this year man, this year it's a community year, man. Because definitely, like, I like people who are like, yo, man, if there's gonna be another 4 years of Trump and this motherfucker is really on some fascist, like tearing up America shit, like, we just gotta like keep our community strong and take care of each other and like really be like focusing on protecting, because this guy can't win every battle he win, and like corruption ain't gonna fucking take us all out.
No,
we
you're
just
right.
gotta we gotta just go hold each other down. Yeah,
you're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right. Like focusing on community, not getting too caught up in like these distractions, going inward. I think that's pretty, revolutionary actually, because you're not feeding into the system, the energy, because that's really what it boils down to. Like what's taking your time, what's taking your focus, redirecting that into something meaningful, like community and sustaining that and cultivating that. Like, that's what you got to do.
That's it.
That's power.
That's really the answer. That's what we did last time to get through these damn 4 years. But and like, we had a damn pandemic and all this shit. But like this time it could be worse because this guy's on some revenge mission, man. And like, so but it's like it's not only it could be worse. There's all this whole Russia issues, and then like Trudeau leaving. So it's like who knows what kind of premier we're gonna get next. If we get a premier that wants to like just curry favor and suck Trump's balls, then like Canada's gonna have more issues than we want to have. And so and like even with that, the same answer is just community connection, and just us. Yeah, man, us holding each other down, man. Like Onyx said, all we got.
That's it, man. That's
all we got is us.
We got his Onyx.
Yeah.
Word, man. All right. Well, I guess we'll sign off like that, man. There's definitely a lot to build on. And yeah, man, we're just gonna keep this energy going on. I know that, this month, I feel like more stuff is coming out this month, man. We're gonna have some more to talk about next week. So
Yeah, man. Yeah. I feel like there's like a black TV show. Well, Power is coming back March
yeah, we
7th.
did build on that. Yeah.
So that's
Oh,
good.
well, the Drake and Party Next Door album is coming out. I think it was like Valentine's Day. I saw some posts about that.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I heard the first song. It sounded pretty good.
I haven't checked it out yet, but I'll take it and see what's going on.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, it's called the album's called "Some Sexy Songs for You," I guess, and they dropped a single. And yeah, I'm like, well, it's good. It's good shit.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm like, it's gonna be like right after the Super Bowl, so the whole like friction energy of both of them is gonna be high. So
interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
But
But
we'll see what.
yeah, we'll see what's up, and yeah, man, and more good times in the culture.
That's it, man. So we're gonna sign off like that, man. Carrying the traditions of Sankofa, man, because we got to go back and bring back what is useful every time, man. This is the Reminisce show. We do this every Tuesday, 7 p.m. live Eastern time. Man, I go by Logic. And I'm here.
I go by Mindbender.
My brother,